Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Gary's Music. Today I'm going to be summer broadcasting to Jesus Lives group, my alternate page, my page for the Lord. Today I'm going to talk about Christianity, God in the country, God in our lives, a little bit of everything. What this country needs is to get back to the Lord, get back to the foundation it was built on. A lot of things going on, reasons why we got away from the Lord. And we find out a lot of prophecy in the Bible, as most of it has come true. Whatever's up to date has come true. You talk about that, people run, they run for the hills. But if you say Nostradamus predicted it, oh, well, they're all ears. But, something that's pretty accurate all the way through, nobody wants to hear it. Like, hey, Annie, how you doing? Good to have you here. And we need to bring back God into our country, back into our hearts, back into our churches. It's hard to find a church that's 100% right along the Bible's teachings. They either sell out to 501c3s, they sell out to money, they sell out to everything. People get disillusioned. Biggest thing in churches that makes people shy away is gossip. A lot of gossip. I mean, just like the same thing here on YouTube. Got a lot of channels, they have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, but the gossip goes on and on and on. In the churches, in the government, Facebook, you name it. Gossip, gossip, gossip. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Good to have you. But today I want to talk about that, about, how we can find God again as a country. What we should do. Hey, Lynn, this is even for non-believers. You can join in too. Non-believers and Christian alike. I'm not going to force anything on anybody. I'm just going to give my opinion. The way the Lord works, the way the Lord wants us to work, the way the Lord would have us to do things. Start out, we got to pray. I heard a comparison that people wait to find Jesus until they correct all the problems they have in their life. But Jesus is like a shower. You don't clean up stuff before you get in the shower. You just get in there and it cleanses you. That's what the Lord does to us in our hearts. When he comes in, he just cleanses it. Then you get rid of the stuff one by one. There's a lot of habits that take time to break. The Lord will help you. And he'll fulfill all your needs, But first of all, you got to accept him in your heart. Bring him into your heart. A lot of people say, why would you do that? Well, look at the burden most people are on. They're going so unhappily day by day, trying to pay their bills, trying to live, like the world, spend money, buy their drinks, buy whatever, their drugs and everything. No Twitch today, Zero. I put it on Zero Lives group on Facebook. I'm combining them today because I'm going to talk more about the Lord and God and Christianity. Yeah, no Twitch today because I can only have 3. I could probably share it to Twitch, but let me see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Boy. Share. I never thought about that. I don't have Twitch on there. Ugh. That's not good. Can't share Twitch. unfortunately. Headache. Just plus or minuses. That don't do it. No, I'm going to have to skip Twitch for today, unfortunately. But where was I? A lot of people get disillusioned in churches because of, one thing or another. They listen to one person. They don't read the Bible on their own. They go to church and they listen to a couple songs, a prayer, pass the offering plate. Preacher gets up there, and sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. Then they go home and they pull open the cold one, throw it back. You know. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. That's my God Bless America hat. And it's got my Carrie's News on the side, one of the sides. But all you on Jesus Lives group come in, you probably noticed my hair has grown longer since the last time I was on, since I haven't been on there for a while, except for when I do like I'm doing now. Combine the two together, well, since a heart attack, COPD outburst, gallbladder removed, most of you know all that's happened. But I'm growing my hair for the J6ers in prison in Washington, D.C. for January 6th, protesting at the Capitol. Poor guy's been in there almost 1,000 days now. They're not allowed to shave. They're not allowed to cut their hair. And all to make them look like insurrectionists and bad guys, basically. I have my beard down to my chest, but on my birthday, I couldn't deal with it anymore. So a year, I said I'm going to shave my beard off anyway. So about keep it trimmed up. But this is why I'm growing it, in protest of the government. Show my dislike for what they're doing. Poor guys need to be at least charged. I'm going to talk on that later, about J6ers and charges and what have you. Hey, Nobby. Good evening there in jolly England. But, we go to church, and then you have people talk about you, if you don't have this, that, or the other, they put you down. And people get disillusioned pretty quick, I saw a good, for instance, online a while back, the lady went to the minister and said, I can't come back to your church anymore because too many people talking on their cell phones, playing on their cell phones, talking to each other while you're trying to deliver the sermon. And I just can't take it. I can't take what everybody's doing in this church. The minister said, well, before you leave, would you do something for me? She said, sure. But we'll give you 2 glasses of water, and I want you to walk around the sanctuary here twice without spilling a drop. So she takes the glasses. She walks around the church twice. Back up to the minister and said, I didn't spill none. And he said, why didn't you spill any? She says, because I was paying attention to make sure I didn't spill it. He says, that's what you need to do in service. Ignore them and concentrate on what's being said. But we have to make sure not just to trust everything a minister or pastor or any clergyman tells you or interprets it. You need to go back and study it later yourself and decide for yourself, is this right, wrong, or indifferent? A lot of churches teach a lot of different things. Some churches you can't become a member if you've been married before. Even though all your sins are forgiven, if you've been married before, they won't let you join their church. It's totally wrong. A lot of them won't let you talk about the government. They think of that old thing, the government's separate, but it's not. God is included in our government. Ever since the beginning. God's in our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. He's everywhere in our forefathers' thoughts. There were several that weren't Christian. There were several into other things, but basically we were established on Judeo-Christian law by the Bible. But what we really needed in this country is a big revival. A big revival. A while back when TPC was on the road in Idaho, I saw what was a good start of a revival. At the beginning of the service, there were people walking in with their drinks and their snacks and everything, and everybody's like, oh, they're eating in the sanctuary, they're eating in the church, they're going to service with the drinks, and, everybody glad-handed and everything in the chat. As the service went along, the Holy Spirit took over with the singing and everything. And there was a hush come over the chat, and people saying that tears were coming up in their eyes, and they were touched by the whole experience. But it ended. They carried it along a few more days, but it ended. You see the churches put up signs, revival, Thursday through Sunday. 7:30. You go Thursday through Sunday. If the Holy Spirit does intervene in it and take over, guess what? It shouldn't make it Thursday to Sunday, make it Thursday to question mark. But the Spirit's not going to come when you want him to, in those 3-4 days. You have to keep praying, fasting, prayer without ceasing. It could take a week, it could take a month, it could take a year. We expect it to happen right now when we want it. It's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen that way. We've had some good starts, but Satan wants to destroy it. Wants to bring people into the colleges. Oh, you can't do this. The state can't condone this. We have to get on our knees and pray diligently and fast. Get ourselves right first before we can expect God to do anything for us. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm Christian, I go to church. It's not just that, it's not deeds. It's by what you do in your heart. You open your heart up to Christ, and he'll help you. He'll get you through all the trying times. I mean, the Bible says we're going to be in tribulation, trials and tribulations all our life. The Bible never tells us it's going to be easy going. Be a lot less burden on your heart if you accept Christ. He'll help you through the hard times and probably protect us from a lot that could happen to us. But you have to make that step and bring him into your heart first and live that way. And, I said earlier, come home, pop a cold one. I'm not saying anything about drinking alcoholic beverages. You have Nobby coming up. But we have to live it in ourselves first. We are the light. In the darkness, in all the darkness out there, we are the light. We shine our light on everybody, and it brightens everybody up. When we smile with our eyes, it'll brighten everybody up. But we have to show it and show that we're different. That we rose above all the turmoil in our life and everything. And we have to live that way, as examples, as lights. This little light of mine, I'm going to make it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to make it shine. That's how we need to live. We just can't say, I'm doing good, Nobby.
Sorry, I've got 16-second delay. I forgot that. Sorry.
16-second delay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's really confusing, isn't it?
I know, sometimes that's an eternity. But I'm geared more towards faith today. My idea how we can bring freedom and liberty and everything to everybody, and bring God back into our world. And we can do it. We can do it. It's just, we're not doing it. We're sitting back, watching other people, waiting for somebody else to do something. And we have to do it ourselves.
We kept it at bay over 300 years ago, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have machines or computers back then.
No. We depend on our cell phones and everything. And we live on our phones. And it interferes with everything. Everything. Our faith, everything. Everything. Then we got to decide which way do we want to go, And as Christians, we want to do it peacefully. The Bible tells us to put on the full armor of God, but that means spreading His word, telling everybody the news, and praying, and talking, and talking, and talking, leading people to God. Not go out and destroy things like some groups do. A lot of people say they're for freedom and liberty and everything, but they get on, they tear each other down, and that's their privilege to do whatever they want to do, But if we're really serious about it, we need to go against the government. We need to protest. We need to bring God back in everything, and not just make it a few-day revival, and then it's all over. That, to me, doesn't accomplish anything, period, at all.
No.
We had to keep going and going and going and going. It may happen, it may not happen. Just depends on how pure we get our hearts, each and every one of us individually. One bad apple spoils the crate. The old saying goes. We have to be diligent. There's my freedom jalopy. Everybody sees a picture of the stump that the guy cut the tree down, or the wind damaged it. He cut it back, and he made a Trump statue with airmail and all that on it. It's pretty funny.
We've got a tree in the centre of Harrogate like that, Kerry, which they chop the top off, and then they put the Eiffel Tower and something else.
The Eiffel Tower.
Absolutely nothing to do with Harrogate.
No, I can't see it looking out my window. It's right over there on the corner over here.
Is it just on your street then?
No, it's on the main street.
Right.
Yeah, it's around the corner from here on the main street that goes through, goes through the
I'll take a
area.
photograph of it and bring it and show us it one day.
It's on my community.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, that's Facebook, isn't it?
Oh, I could probably I could probably do it here. Let me see. Get it up. Okay. See if I can get it bigger. I don't think so.
Hang on, let me go
But
full
you can
screen.
see
Look, hang on a minute.
Up here is the air.
Oh, right. Is it like painted? I thought you were talking. It was like carved, like in the shape, like that mountain. That where do you call it? That mountain you've got with all the statues on it. All right.
Oh, Mount Rushmore? No, not quite.
Yeah, I thought it was carved like that.
Pretty,
right. Okay. So it's a chopped up tree with painting on it.
Right. And here, this one's this flag here. Don't tread on Florida. And you got the American flag. Then you have the. I think it's the. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yellow flags are very. I don't understand. I understand one yellow flag which is evil in the world, which is the Brazilian yellow flag. I don't know what that. What
Oh,
is that? Is that like? Is that like half American flag with a bit of yellow on it? What is it?
it's just a flag that says has a gator on it. Says "Don't tread on Florida." But
But it's
yeah,
sort of like half of American flag as well, is it?
no, no. There's no American flag on it. No, it's just a yellow flag with a gator says "Don't tread on Florida."
Okay, right.
Don't
So
tread
there
on
was an
Florida.
American flag behind it then, which I thought was part of it. Okay.
Yeah, no, they had an American flag behind it, and they had
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
colonial flag, and another one that was in half. I can't remember what it was. I should have studied it a little more. Should have studied it a little more. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. See, I talk about Christianity. We have poor people in here. People run when you talk about the Lord. A lot of people, say, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. But until we really love the Lord, we're not gonna get anywhere. We have to get our priorities, in line if we were really serious about fighting for our freedom and our liberty.
Yeah.
And that means for everybody, every faith, religion, color, creed, way
I
of
think, I
life,
think
don't
sorry.
don't push it on everybody. It's like I'm not pushing this on anybody. I'm just, telling my opinion and what I think we should do.
Mhm.
And the more I pray and the more I think about it, it might be the only way we can do it.
But it's the
It
only
may
way
be
because,
our
like, if you're always thinking about something positive and real, you're on the case. Whereas all these people that we see around us at the moment, which are absolutely doolally pip, if you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
they're all they're not thinking about things like what we're thinking about. So therefore, they end up turning psycho. I think I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, when the when the devil gets his bidding, it's hard to tell what they'll
Yeah.
do.
No.
It's you don't know. You don't know.
Imagine,
It's
imagine if you're. I don't know how these people work, but they obviously do work like this. They're obviously thinking of evil all
mhm,
day, aren't they? And every day and every single second. Uh,
yeah.
no
Whether
wonder
they
the way they are. You know.
yeah whether they view it as evil or not, it is pure evil. It's taking
Yeah.
over their heart and their mind where they can't see it.
If they
They're
had one,
blind.
if they had even a simplest belief of like, oh, I should look after plants or something like that, you know what I mean? There's God
Yeah.
and everything, you
And
know what I mean? Which takes your mind off psychotic
right,
things, I suppose, doesn't it?
right. Yeah.
You know,
It's
we haven't got time to be
mo-
psychotic. We're too nice.
yeah. It's
You know?
morality. It's morality, plain and simple. The way you live your life.
Yeah.
That's going to determine how you think and how you act. And yeah, the atheists, the drag queens, and
Hmm.
the transsexuals and the
Yeah.
homosexuals, and they have taken over the
British,
churches where
British, yeah,
and and the big churches have gone for the love of money,
yeah,
which is the root of all evil. Uh, the big churches here in Orlando, they own half of the rich area in town, where that money should be. If they're not, well, they have to keep building bigger because they keep outgrowing their size, and they put on big Hollywood productions at Christmas and everything.
hmm
And they should be going helping the poor. Build a place for the poor, needy seniors, whatever. And either charge them nothing or charge them whatever they can afford, or something, to help the community instead of getting their fat pockets themselves and their private jets to zoom all over the world, zoom from Florida to California for breakfast and then back to New York for lunch. Things like that, that's not for God. I mean, and they know it. They know it, but people give hand over fist, thinking that they're helping out a good cause.
Yeah,
And
it's on the same subject as that, Kerry. There's a video just come out today about I presume will be a COE, a church vicar, who goes to the prisons around the country and apparently helps some inmates and things. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he's not English. He's British. I put the link in the chat. It's 12 minutes. You can watch it later.
He's British.
He's a British vicar, but
okay.
Totally anti-English. Yeah, he's been put in prisons as the prison vicar.
Mm-hmm.
So that prison vicar is a Fabian British vicar, which is doing harm and not good.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see watch it later anyway.
Yeah, he's probably teaching the wrong standards,
He's teaching government standards. It's not teaching God's word. He's teaching government's word.
Right.
And that's what our Church of England has been taken over by the British government. That's why people like myself, who's English, who wear English flags, are not welcome. English people are welcome in Church of England churches.
That's
full stop. That's it. You got to be British.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, everything that happens in America is a reflection of what's happening in England. Yeah, it's the British. I think I sent you a few links in email this morning about it, which sort of gives you a few minutes into what I'm talking about. We're both talking about now. We're both talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
The influence of the government over your churches and things. Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes a long ways. I mean, people that believe everything they hear that the minister says, which is the first thing that people should not do, is take 100% what the minister, vicar, or whatever, says. Just study the Bible yourself and think about how you would think about it. Translate it to what you think the Lord would want you to do and God would want you to do, not just depend on one person. And that's where we go wrong. They may start out good. New pastor comes in, he starts out good, and then he kind of starts bending your mind the other way. If he wants to, because he has pure control over the whole congregation. People listen to him, and they don't fact check them like YouTube and Facebook. With real facts.
Did I tell you the story about Pippa Knight?
What was
it? A funeral that I think she was 18-month off, up to 3-year-old child died. Well, got murdered by the NHS, and then the funeral afterwards. Did I tell you that story?
No, huh?
I'm not gonna bring in names, but you know what I'm saying. So it doesn't. What do you call it, people? So we went to a funeral. A young girl was forced to be taken off a lung machine, even though she had life. She was like brain dead type thing. So the British said. So the NHS said.
And the government made
the government turned the machine off. At the funeral, she was horse-drawn carriage in a white carriage, white horses, with the English St. George's flag over her coffin.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 men carrying her in with the coffin in drapes and the English St. George's cross. The vicar what do you call a female vicar? They're both called same. Well, it was a female vicar that came out and she says, "You can't be having that flag over that coffin."
Mm.
2 of the biggest guys had to virtually manhandle the vicar and take her out of the church in order for us to start the ceremony in the church. But then she was starting banging on the door, pleading with us that she'll make an exception to the rule. That's what we've got to cope with us in this country. The British taking over our English churches, being policified, whatever you call it.
And let me ask you, is it still the same way? Is it still the Church of England, and that's just about it?
Church of England, where I was christened, is literally 100 yards away from where I am at the moment. I went to the town centre one, which you've seen on one of my push bike rides. You've seen me push biking beside a church somewhere. That's the main one in town.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
it's like quarter size of a cathedral. It's a big one, you know. In there, you're just not welcome in there if you're English. Absolutely not. You know, it's been so politicified. What do you have to with whatever word it is? So, yeah.
Yep. It's like Carol said. That's sad. You know.
It's sick.
Yeah, I remember hearing the story about the 4-year-old that they made him take him off the life support. And,
yeah, that was a difference. That was the same. That was exactly the same month in another part of the world. That was, Kerry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was in Australia. I think that was in Australia. I'm pretty sure it was Australia, that one you're talking about.
Oh, no, this was England. I recall. I hadn't heard about. I hadn't heard about the funeral. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, because you know, we know the people. You know, having had a drink with Pippa Knight's mother before. You know.
Yeah, they might as well spit on it. You know.
Yeah, I know personally. You know, so it's like that. When it comes from the horse's mouth, you know what's happening. Like, you know.
Right. And this is the stuff that we have to contend with. This is stuff we have to battle, and we have to make people realize that this is what's going on. We're being brainwashed by the government, by our churches, and there's not too many churches that go 100% the Bible. I mean, unfortunately, they all have their little idiosyncrasies that they stick in there that, you know, make people wonder.
There's one top popish type, vicarish type, I think he might be Catholic vicar somewhere in the world, is saying similar things to what we're talking about at the moment. I'll see if I can find the link for that for you as well.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that. He wears a green robe.
It was only a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was one that was talking out against, you know, the way the church was doing.
Yeah, exactly. This subject, what that we're on about at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. There are people speaking out. We need to help them. We need to get with people like that and, you know, spread the word. And be diligent about it. Because like I said, when you start talking God and everything, people turn you off. You have to show it.
Because they're scared.
You have to let the light shine. And we can't be pushy. I mean, we can't, you know, you go to some churches and they'll drag you down the aisle to the altar, you know, and, you know, confess your sins, not knowing who you are or what, you know, anything about you. And that's not good. You can't pressure people into doing something like that. You have to be kind, gentle, show how you live, you know, be yourself, do what you do, but not pressure people into it and force them into it. And if they give themselves, help them out, but don't condemn them if they do something wrong, which is part of the course too. You know, you shouldn't do that. Like, you know, you might be Protestant and go to a Catholic church, and the minister of the Baptist church will tell you, "Oh, that's the whore church," you know, things like that. No, that's wrong. That is pure. I mean, it's pure sin. You know, throwing a person that. Because even if there's got to be some good somewhere, you know. Got to be some some good somewhere. Maybe maybe we can turn it around. I don't know, but it's hard. I mean, I've tried for many years, to convince people my way of thinking, but they had their down the road laws and opinions, and they would not, they wouldn't talk about it. They would discuss it. And this is what our churches need to do: get, sit down and talk about, you were married before, you accepted Christ, He forgives all your sins in the past, It doesn't leave you hanging because, you did something before, you turned your life over. But some of them want to make a strike against you. And that's why we lose a lot of people. God bless you, Carol. Thank you. Eat good. I had me about a half a pound burger before I come on. Oh boy, it was good. It was good.
So even the old fogies, even people 17-year-old than you and 31-year-older than me, are still survivors from the Nazi influx, and they see where they are at the moment in Canada. You've heard that story, haven't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And all the vets are going. All the vets around the world are going absolutely mental about it. I tell you, especially India. India may even go to war with Canada over that. You never know.
Yeah, and we got China threatening Taiwan, and all this stuff going on. This week.
It's all the British's plan. We know it is.
Right. Put the nations against nation.
Yeah, the monarchy.
And yeah, the only chance we have is God.
The evil ones, MK Ultra. Monarchy.
Right.
UK.
Only
British.
way we can go.
Terrorists.
I was thinking
anti-human.
Anybody kind of change the subject a little bit. Let's go to January 6th. Poor guys there in prison not being charged.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Which is torture.
Basically torture, yeah. Sitting there, not being able to do anything. We need to get some kind of petition going.
You've got a law in America which outstands our 147A law, which is torture laws. You've got a law which outstands that. I'll just remind myself actually what it's called. Give me a second.
The problem being, the District of Columbia has their own laws.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they just sidestep the nation's laws and use their laws. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're sidestepping federal law for their district law. And they're their own entity, so they can do it, which is sad.
Yeah, it's Article 147. I was right, the right number, of the willful killing, torture, or inhuman treatment against a fellow human being by somebody in authoritative state, like the Queen, the police, people in civil service, things like that. Yeah, you've got a similar law in America which covers people who are imprisoned at the moment, like how many hundreds of people are in prison because they're sick. It can be overruled. You've got to get a good solicitor and a good person who knows the American law.
So what we need to do is start a petition that says, like, we the people, like the Constitution.
Yeah.
We the people demand you as our representatives to either charge or release these prisoners from January 6th.
Yeah.
Immediately. And so on and so forth, whatever law, pursuant whatever law, there is, demanding that we get our representative rights to ask for their release
To get their
and get it
release, yeah.
and get it
To
get
get
it signed by get it signed in, sent in, whatever, electronically, by
yeah.
mail, flood it with millions, millions, not just a handful.
I think the only way you can get them people released is by going to another country's court system, like what we're going to
I
do.
I think
Us English are going to take the British government and the British police to
I
through
believe
through
I
the
believe they're doing that. International
147
courts,
torture law. Yeah, we're going to
but
take them to
but that's
America and try them there. Like,
but
if you want to try your government, you have to try them in a different country. That's how it works. Otherwise, you just going into.
but if there's no repercussions, which no country will go against the U.S. No country will go against the U.S. Even if they found them guilty, tried them, convicted them. There's no
What
country
about, for
that,
example, something crazy like a Ugandan court or a
yeah,
Russian
they, they,
court
they,
or an Icelandic court
the ones that are
or
standing up with us now, but it's not doing any good. That's the problem
but
because they
taking your
have no way
government
to.
to them courts would hurt them.
We just snub our nose at them.
Yeah.
We have to work. We're going to have to work it within legally. Like I said, probably take a lawyer to write up something, get people to do it. And another thing is fill up that corner in D.C. with thousands, not just a handful of people. But people go there, you know, get a carload, drive a carload there, however many you can carry, pick them up along the way, whatever, sometime, you know, fill it up, fill it up. And then go around Washington during the day and parade by the Capitol, not go near the Capitol, but parade around it, and make it get like a football field. So I'm sure we could get enough people to fill a football stadium if we really tried, if we really meant it.
If
Like the
America's
number that
the
would go to a football game and make the people in D.C. cry out for them to stop,
America will mirror England. It does mirror England in so many ways, and similar to
Yeah.
what you're just talking about is in England, only 23% of the population identify as being British, UK. Yeah, all the rest of us identify as being English, Welsh, Irish, Scottish, Isle of
Mm-hmm.
Manish. Yeah, yeah. It's the same in America. Yeah, only 20 odd
Yeah.
percent identify as
Yeah.
living in the land
Yeah.
of Biden. Yeah, 80 odd percent, the
Right.
majority, believe in
If
live in the land of God. Yeah,
you're
you
right,
are the majority.
but we have a majority, but they're been silent too long.
The thing
They
is,
got
in
content
America,
in their
you've got
ways.
weapons to fight them back. Us in England have taken our weapons away. At least you can
Mm-hmm.
shoot them back. We can't.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot of us can. I
Everybody's.
can, but they can't.
You know what? Everybody's afraid that they'll go to jail. We need people that not afraid of that, and there's plenty of them out there.
Well, they're
Because
not going to
they
send
got to
people who
feed
aren't
you
afraid
something.
to go to jail, are they? They're only going to send people who are afraid to go to jail to jail.
Right. Right. Yep. Exactly. And they'll
What's the
do
point of
something
sending
wrong.
somebody to jail if it doesn't do anything to them, if they're not bothered about it? Like me and you, we wouldn't be bothered about it. We'd just take it on
Right.
head, like, wouldn't we?
Right. Yeah. Just sit there and take it easy.
Yeah.
As long as they feed me something, I don't have to have 3 a day.
Just
But
take it for what it is.
yeah, take it for what
The,
it
en-
is, day by
the
day.
enemy's got you and put you in chains. Not much you
But
can do about it, is there?
yeah, and if people are worried about it, they're afraid they'll lose everything. But guess what? They're going to lose everything.
Well, they're too busy worrying about that rather than getting on with their lives.
Yeah, it's come to the point where the majority of us are going to lose a lot. if not everything.
Hmm.
We are going to lose, no matter what side you're on. We're going to lose
Yeah.
if we don't do something about it now. And that's including God. That's including standing up to the government, protesting peacefully. I mean, not tearing things up, throwing things, picking up fences and stuff. Leaving stuff on the ground. Peacefully. Raise your voice. Let it be heard.
But your
If you get,
anti-American government will get the Antifa locked in, who were earlier on police officers, to come in and
they didn't do
cause
any.
chaos.
They didn't do anything to those type people. Nothing. Nothing. We need to. We need to. We need to get the word out. Everybody that was agitating on January 6th. I'm talking about Roy Epps. I'm talking about the informants for the FBI.
Yeah.
The plants from the FBI. We need to identify them, put their names out there, put it in bold writing, let the world know who did it, when they did it. And I know that there's people that knows every one
We
of
do
them.
know who did it. We do know all the FBI evidence. We've got photographs. We've got images. We've got video of them all.
Right. We put them out there in the public eye. Let it be known who did it, what they look like, who they are, where they work. Doxing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But that's what we need to do. Is let everyone know who was behind all this. Why Nancy Pelosi didn't accept the help?
The British.
That's the big question right there. And the police will tell you they have spoken out and said that they didn't have any command that day. They were on their own. They were acting on their own. They didn't know which way to go. The wind's blowing tear gas back in their faces, and they think the protesters are doing it. But how can a protester carry in a tear gas weapon without being noticed? Especially in D.C., where they're so strict on firearms and stuff like that. There's cameras everywhere. No matter how much you try to conceal it, it's going to be seen because they're big, usually big and bulky, and able to do, what was in the air that day from the police weapons. It'd have been a lot worse, if protesters had those kind of weapons too, let alone being spotted with them. I mean, they think we're nuts. They think we're crazy. There's nobody going to carry that type of stuff into a protest and not and not think they're going to get caught.
You saw the Manchester protests a few months ago, did you? Where that police van was setting fire and things, did you?
No.
Okay, well, this happened, right? And this police van was planted in a dead-end street, yeah? We tested it out. It was not taxed, it was not insured, and it was 15-year-old. Now, British police get rid of the cars after about 11-year-old. So they put this, the keys was in the ignition, it had petrol in the back, and just round the corner was a skip. And when the Antifa opened that skip up, that was full of red house bricks. Oh, dearie me. I wonder how they got there.
Yeah. It's just like here, they planted pallets of bricks and stuff to use, on corners.
So no British UK
cities.
trick. Fabians.
Yeah.
Wolves in sheep's clothing.
They planted stuff all over these cities for them to use. And they didn't do it on their own. I mean,
No.
some
They got paid to use them.
Our official's going to see it. I mean, give me a break. It was all planned. It was all staged. Every bit of it. None of them went to jail. If they did, they got right out. I haven't heard of anybody being charged with anything, even the deaths of that retired police chief in the pawn shop trying to protect the shop.
Yeah, retired is the big answer to that question. That police officer you're talking
Angela.
about, I don't know who it is, but he retired because he had to retire because he was just such a nice American gentleman, and he followed the American Constitution and
Hmm.
the Biden whatever government leading your police were totally mirror images of, not mirror, totally opposite. So he had to leave. That's why he's retired. And that's why he was so good in
And
life to be able to go out and save other people, even though he wasn't a policeman.
right. And
Because there's a union, Christian,
and these representatives marching right alongside of them, cheering them on to do more damage.
No.
They should have been arrested that instant
Yeah.
for treason.
Yeah.
Each and every one of them. This is what we turn a blind eye to. We don't think about it. We don't talk about it. We just let it slide. These are things we need to point out. We have to stand strong, hold the line, talk about it day and night, talk to everybody you see, everybody you talk to, at least something. Even if you take. Go ahead. It's just like the guy with the tree that I showed.
Yeah.
He's doing something. He is doing something. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. That is so amazing. I mean, take an old dead tree and make a piece of art out of it. Airmail. I love that airmail at the top. I haven't heard of airmail in a long time. I think it all goes by air.
I bet you haven't been faxed for a while either.
Yeah. I mean,
the thing what we used to do with fax machines back 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. If we ever hated a company or anything, we'd just send them number one fax over and over again. And that could be from anywhere from one A4 sheet to 100, depending how many fax machines they had chained together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And some of them take pictures of their tuitions and send them everywhere.
Yeah, just put your ass on the scanning machine.
Yeah.
And fax that to them.
Yeah. A lot of stuff. There is so much stuff that we can do as individuals. It's like I'm saying, this guy takes an old dead tree and makes a piece of art. Basically. And everybody, it's a busy road. Busy road that goes through here. Cuts time off of going the main road up here a ways, cutting between one place to the other. There's a lot of traffic coming from the airport over here, little airport. But it's big, compared to a lot of them. People go by there, see it all the time, and probably like me, stop, take pictures. Little things like that, all of us can do, It's just like you show them a picture of my Freedom Jalopy. I got stickers all over the back of that thing, And a lot of times I get out, I like your sign. I like your window, your back window, stuff like that. And then it gives me an opportunity to talk. And see, according to what the doctor told me, I got a couple more months. It was just 2 months yesterday since I had that surgery. It seems like it's been a lifetime. I'm wondering, why am I still hurting? Why am I, get tired, easy and stuff. You got to slow down, Carrie. You got to let it heal.
Can I share a screen and just show you a picture of a place that I used to be at 1980s? Which is to do with which is to do with the Menwith Hill.
As long as it don't get me booted.
No, it's a real picture of my history. Okay. Do you know Menwith Hill American camp in England?
what
There's an
now?
American camp in England called Menwith Hill, and it's 4.5 miles away from where I'm sat at the moment. So that land
Okay.
is really virtually American land. Okay. We used to protest there back in '80s against the nuclear and all that, you know, and about the wars and things like that, and about and that was the scrapings from Vietnam and things like that. I haven't got any pictures of me there, but I've got pictures of people that I know there. I'll show you. Just share screen. I'll just have to go back to the screen and find out what it's called. There it is. Okay. StreamYard.
Yeah.
Share screen. Present. That's what it's called.
While you're doing it, everybody share this out. Like it. Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it.
There you go. Have a look at that.
16 seconds.
Yeah. 16 seconds. It's been posted.
It's 20 now.
No, it's
not. You got to come across that international.
No, I'm you to press a button to let me in because you're administrator to allow it.
Oh, I
think
you.
You have.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to press a button. Yeah.
I got it. I'm asleep at the wheel.
So this is a peace camp that we had. I used to go up there and do a bit of weed backwards and forwards, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is 1978 through till 1983. I was 15 through till about 20 when I used to stay there quite often. But it's mainly a ladies' camp, if you know what I'm saying. So they all went on to be Greenham Common people. You remember Greenham Common? You must know that. Yeah. So I thought you were talking about protesters and things. That's where I protested back in the past. I thought it had something to do with what you were talking about.
Yeah, I never did get into protesting and stuff like that, when I was younger. I've always been politically involved.
Oh, I have. Well, Glastonbury was my first festival when I was 15. That was 1977, 78. I hitchhiked there. I was still at school. I was them type of people who used to skive off school all the time, but do all my lessons and do everything proper, But when they weren't out doing like some orders and things like that, it's just do whatever you wanted to do. So what was as kids used to be like, wasn't it, Kerry? Back in days, we weren't independent over our parents, and I think we were independent ourselves, weren't we? Went out and learned, and and did our own thing, Did
our own thing, yeah.
And today, I don't understand kids at all. I just don't understand them at all.
Now their faces are stuck in the iPad and the iPhone, and can't get them out of it. We've come a long way to our demise. Yep.
But we've got another 70-odd years left in us, though.
What was it?
You've got at least 60 years in you.
60?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 74.
I know you are. I'm 60.
Yeah. You're 60, yeah. Yeah, you're
a teenager. You're a teenager older than myself.
Yeah. There you go.
I've had 4 and a bit teenagers, I think it is, at 60.
Yeah. Yeah, I was when you were born. I was probably hanging with
teenager. Yeah, you were a teenager, weren't you?
I never was a hippie, but I was.
I certainly was a hippie, like all my life. I have been.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find a picture of myself when I was, I think, 11 on my first motorbike, which I got. Purple flares, you name it.
Yep. back in the good old days. Well,
Yeah.
it's like everybody talks about it, but we went out in the morning and we'd gone all day, doing things here, there, and everywhere, and you know, come home when the street lights come on, or come in for lunch, come in for
Yeah,
lunch, and
I'm from a working class family. My old man worked in a factory. After working at butchers and things, he worked in a factory. My old lady, she worked in Woolworths.
hmm
So it was a bit tight back in the 60s, you know? And
yeah,
when I was like 5 or 6, yeah, imagine this, yeah? We've got
hmm
old railway lines down in Harrogate, old steam engine railway lines, yeah? Where
uh-huh,
there used to be loads of coal at sidings, you know? So we used to go down there with
right,
wheelbarrows and shovel up coal and bring them back home for hours. Like,
hmm
this
yep.
was 1968, 105.
We had a sand pit that had cliffs along it. I'd go and ride my bike around the middle of it, on the cliff. Had a trail dug out, just barely hold my bike, ride around it, and then ride the top of the cliff as close as we can get. Sometimes go over. Good thing it was sand below. This is like a good 30 foot, maybe 40 foot drop. Pull each other up with garden hoses. We had a good old time. We had one hill where 25th Street Hill, that we had a like a ramp that went out. We jumped the road, on that bank. It was kind of like a ramp. It went up a bit. We'd jump it across the road. All kinds of crazy stunts. But yeah, we had a good time. Made it to it, and I gotta find some kind of decoration decals for the side of my car. I'm gonna put an eagle up on the front of the rack,
What, that
the
silver
top
one?
rack. Yeah,
That silver car, it don't look precious or anything. Why you just paint it by hand? Your slogans and things outside, like, up your whatever.
maybe maybe some, but I'm not that good a artist.
I'm not. I
We
can't. I can't. If I write, people can't understand what I've written. Never mind trying to paint it on the
yeah,
side of the car.
yeah, couple weekends ago when I was with up in Ocala with the granddaughters up there, we painted these glasses with the handles. We
Oh
painted
yeah.
pictures on them. I did an old autumn leaf and a pumpkin. They said, "Papa, I thought you couldn't draw," and I can't. But they
What
loved
it
it.
wasn't
I
meant to.
still
It
got a
wasn't meant to
picture
be a
of
pumpkin.
it. Yeah, and I thought you couldn't. I thought you said you couldn't paint. Every now and then I can, but if I'm too afraid of making mistakes. They said, "How'd you get your colors like that?" And I said, "You had to blend your colors and stuff." Hold on myself a little bit. Yep. If I went to do it on the car, I would mess up. I found a couple of decals I ordered I didn't put on yet. I found them in my glove compartment today. We got my tag sticker from my license plate and had some blood work taken at the doctor's office first thing this morning. Yeah, I just want to. I don't know. I just want people to see it and notice it, and maybe get some response. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Do a little something. People notice. People notice, and they let you know. That's all we can do. Well, Nobby, our numbers have dropped. I probably talked too long, bored everybody to death. But everybody remember the J6ers, remember them in your prayers, remember them in everything, and let's try to figure out a way to build up that group there and help them out in the corner. I know, I wonder if my vehicle will make it. It take me a ton of money to get up there. That's my biggest problem. But if, somehow people want to go, start a, you know, share the cost, whatever, all of us could do that. But we say we can't afford it, but we can find people join in and help out. A lot of times they stiff you, but hopefully most of the times they don't. But there's, so many things, so many ways. And I'm really going to focus on trying to get this letter to our representatives done. Somehow. I need some brainy people to help out. Some ideas of how to word it. How to make it emphasis and legal. I think something like that may, if we can get millions, it would do the trick. Hey, Chaplain, good to see you. But, that God back in our country, pray every day. Pray every day. If our churches are doing something wrong, let them know about it. If they don't change it, leave. Let the pastor know what you think and why you think it. Discuss it. That's the problem with. There you go. Mine's in the other room, but we, always learn on yourself, depend on yourself, but don't depend on one person to tell you how it is. You have to trust your own fellowship with the Lord, your own thoughts, your own opinions. The Lord will tell you if you're wrong. He'll tell you for sure. Let you know if you're wrong. And
hey, up, Jeffro, how are you doing?
Don't force it on people. Absolutely, do not force it. Let your light shine. Tell her how you see it. I'm sure Chaplain would echo it. By the way, he's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 and Sundays at 10. Fantastic show. Share it out, just like this. And let's get the word out. A lot of people say, well, I'm a Christian, but they don't live it. And start talking about it, they leave. They don't want to hear it. But we can turn that around. There's no shame in being a Christian. Life's so much better, much easier. You're going to have trials and tribulations. You're going to have, but the Lord will help you through each and every bit of it. All of it. All of it.
Better being that than humanity's enemy.
And they say there's no miracles, but sometimes some of the stuff that come about when you're praying are absolute miracles. Absolutely. Just not huge miracles, but little ones, like.
We see miracles. We see them quite often. I'm sure we do. I mean to say me and you, Kerry.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm wondering where I'm going to get my next time, and then all of a sudden it's there. I'm like, how? Well, I know how. And always thank Him for it as soon as it happens. Always. Don't forget that. Thank you, and I love you, Lord. Oh, chocolates. Oh, boy. Yeah. But I'm about talked out for today. So
Yeah, I need a
unless
drink.
unless somebody wants to join in and talk.
Yeah, come in, Jeffra. If you've been listening to what we've been saying, you could maybe continue the conversation.
I think he just got here.
Okay.
But he'll go back and watch it. I do the same thing. I'll fall asleep. I'll take a nap and I won't wake up until 5:15. You know, woo.
Was it tea time there or something at 5 o'clock or something? It's 10 o'clock here.
10 o'clock. No, we don't have tea time. I think
No,
most
it's,
of people.
it's 10 o'clock here in England at the moment. What time is it there?
Oh, it's 5:10.
Yeah, tea time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
5 hours behind us.
Well, every time it's tea time in the U.S., people drink tea all day long.
I do. I
Iced
go
tea.
through over 50 a week. I go through.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like a formality there or something, a ritual that y'all go to, right? Or you're conditioned that way to eat at a certain time.
It's just very
Am I
English,
wrong?
isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's the way that us working class can go. We've got a bit of posh in our life. We've got real tea.
Yeah. Actual, put the hot water in the tea
we've
bag in there.
we've got a little bit of what the elite's got in their cupboard.
Uh-huh.
Remember,
Yep.
tea used to cost a fortune, didn't it?
Yeah, what really tickled
Back before our time, though.
what really tickled me was the eggs in that little holder, to crack the top and eat it out of the shell. I never did conquer that. Always made a mess.
I love eating boiled eggs out of an egg cup. But I can never find it. I've only got one egg cup, so I just end up having to rip the box of where the eggs came from in first place.
Uh-huh.
And soldiers, bread and butter sliced with finger shaped, dunked in. Oh.
Well, you have fun on that golf cart, Lynn. Don't fall off. Don't run it into the lake. Anything that might happen, be careful and have fun. I love riding those golf carts like that.
Who did you nick the golf cart off? Somebody who plays golf.
Yeah.
Who plays golf? I don't understand that game at all. It's Scottish or something, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like golf. I think I got better things to do with my time than run around.
Only people having fun in golf carts are people who don't play golf. Because when you see them people with golf carts with real golf clubs, they've all got right miserable looking faces. I can tell you.
I can handle riding the golf cart around, but
I can as well. Just long as there aren't any golf clubs or balls about, I'm all right.
But just to go putter that ball around, I don't know.
No, it's a weird people playing with the balls. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I guess there's a lot of skill to it, but I would probably twist my body out of shape trying to,
I think the only golf I've ever seen was, I think it was Goldfinger or something, Sean Connery. 007 film. I think he did some golfing in that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was it exploding golf balls?
Yeah. What was it? Jaws? Yeah.
Very sporty, mate.
No, I occasionally like to play mini golf, but a little bit different.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, crazy golf we call it. Where you're going through windmills and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, mechanical stuff. It's a right laugh, is that one?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy golf. That's really good. That's good fun.
It sure
You
is.
can do that.
Yep.
You can do that. You can have a laugh with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a lot of things, that it's just like, I don't know, because of all the crookedness in the sports, I quit watching most sports because all of them have gone to rigged, you know. I mean, from football to NASCAR, you know, they've all rigged up everything. I think the only thing that's not rigged up is bowling. Uh,
Yeah, it's just best really just to have sports with yourself and just play against yourself. If you beat yourself on a Wednesday, it's really good. But
right.
if you lose
Yeah.
on a Thursday, maybe you should take a break on a Friday.
Hmm.
Play dangerous sports in your front room.
Yeah, there is skill in there is skill in golfing, but you know, I just not my cup of tea, like you said. No, I just I don't know. But yes, I hats off that people could make all those big time shots and you know hole in
I
one
like
and
your 10 pin ball. We used to have a 10 pin ball in alley in
10,
our
yeah,
town up till about 10
yeah,
years ago.
10
That's
pin. We
brilliant.
got
That is.
we got a little place here in town. It's not big enough to be an actual bowling center. It's I imagine it's probably duck pins. I haven't stopped there to see, but you know, it said bowling, but it's like a normal, almost house size. I don't know. It's possible, you know. I've seen some pretty small, pretty small. Well, that you would call alley. Most of the time, they want to be called centers. When I run the bowling centers for Brunswick and George Pappas, we always called it centers, not alleys. But you
Okay.
know, a lot of people up north they still call them alleys, and some are in alleys. Alleys. One day I'll have to check and see what they actually have in that little place.
This is our one. If you have a look at it, present. This is from 70s, but when I was a kid, you know,
Uh
share
huh.
screen. Uh, Harrogate Ball and Harrogate. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. It's not that one. That's that one. Click your button just for a second, Kerry. That's what our Bowling alley looked like.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's generally what they
60s,
look like
60s,
here.
70s, 80s, but it's now a
Uh huh.
car park. It's now been demolished and it's a car park.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brunswick I worked at Charlotte, it was across from the big Coliseum there. And when the Coliseum, they tore the old one out and built a new one, and they and then they demolished the Coliseum lanes that I ran. So I went to work for the pro yeah, George Pappas,
You actually
and
worked in a bowling alley, you're saying?
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
and and had quite a
You got any
few.
pictures?
Huh?
You got any pictures of you there?
No, no, they're all gone.
Have you
All
looked
my
on the
pic,
internet?
all
Have
my
you looked on the
pictures are
internet for
hid.
any images?
No, I haven't. But we used to have a lot working with George. We had a lot of tournaments. I mean, a lot of pro tournaments. They come in from all over the country in their truckloads and stuff and their balls. And yeah, it was something else. Here I
What
am.
what what type of part of the team were you? Were you? How do you work in the bowling alley? You know,
How did I
what did you
work?
do?
I was a
What did you
manager.
do? Oh, you
I was a
managed the whole
manager.
whole place. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So you did events
yeah,
and things like that and whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Started new leagues and Chapman's a bowler. He's got more 300s I ever got. I got none. I bowled scratch. I didn't get a handicap or anything. I bowled with the pros. Actually, I wanted to become a senior pro, but I didn't. But
Right.
maybe if I get healed up from this gallbladder, I'll try it again. But oh boy, at the expense of the balls and shoes, because you know, I had to pay some bucks.
Yeah, it's about two
Because
thousand
I
dollars to
can't,
sort you
you
to
can't
sort
just
your
wear any.
to, s- to sort your stomach problems out.
You know, I don't know what I like Lynn's bowling shoes, and they're quite expensive. and you got to have the good polyurethane, the weight just right. And I don't even know what the balls consist of now. Technology is probably really progressed since I touched the last bowling ball.
Nah.
I used to carry 3 different balls. One for straight. For my 10-pin, 7-pins, and the splits, and carry one to hook and one that wouldn't. One for long oil and one for short oil. I probably carried more if I could have, but I didn't. But yeah, I was into all that big time. And of course, we had our little pot on the side, to see who get the best score. So that kept me into money, for the next league portion.
Do you know Crown Green Bowling? That's what we do in Harrogate. I've played that quite a few times, where you're on a lawn and you roll a brown ball towards a white ball. It's called Crown Green Bowling.
Yeah.
Where you got to get your ball nearest to the white ball.
Yeah, we don't play that much here.
It's very relaxing with a pint.
It's mostly English.
A pint of beer.
I've seen it on. Yeah, I've seen it on TV and in movies, but I've never actually seen. Oh,
it's very relaxing. Well, a pipe and a pint of beer and a game of bowls. Yeah, and a packet of crisps.
I think the ones that do it here in the States is called plain old lawn bowling.
Yeah, whatever.
Am I right?
Crown Green, whatever. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, lawn bowling.
You just curl the ball towards a white ball, about 50 meters of whatever, 50 foot ahead of you or something.
And we used to have croquet.
Well, that's in it. It's really violent, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, that's hockey I'm thinking about. What's croquet? I can't remember. Getting mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, them shoes. When we used to go bowling, you used to have to tell them what size your shoes were, and they give you these white plastic things. Oh my god, they stunk. I tell you. The whole bowling sort of area smelt a bit weird. Actually, thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. I like Dexter, but yeah, I like Lynn's too. I'd probably go with the Dexter. That's not too bad. It's basically what it cost back then, Probably, let's see, I paid around average probably $100 for a good ball back then. So yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know. I might just carry a bag instead of getting a roller.
I'll show you what I've been on with for the last 2 days.
Then at my age, I probably need a roller. You're right. Probably need a roller.
I'll see if I can show it for you. I'll get rid of that. I've been building this for the last how many days.
Oh, nice.
See them?
Oh.
1967 Chevy.
Nice.
Brand new and wrap. It hasn't even been moved yet. But it apparently does a scale equivalent of 450 mile an hour. So that'd be fun playing about with that.
Yep. Nice. Is that where the hobbits live?
That's where the nobbies live.
The nobbies? The knobby hobbit.
I'm too busy, me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Coliseum type building, huh?
Oh, the church is. Oh, this video shows you the church we're talking about. It's coming up any second, isn't it? That's the cenotaph from Second World War. The church you can just about see now, just up there around this corner.
Yeah, I just saw the corner of it.
That one there,
Going that way.
Yeah.
Oh, watch that old man. Hey, you're going the wrong way.
I'm going up the one-way street. One way, yeah. This is a one-way street I'm going up.
Now, I'll tell you what, here in the States, they
this is a COE church in Harrogate, where they don't like the English flag. Yeah.
Telcos. McDonald's. Where's the arches? Oh, there they are in the window.
But there's no hot dogs like there is in America. We don't have
hot dogs. No hot dogs at McDonald's. You're going to run over these poor people.
No, this is pedestrian cyclist zone. It's all right. I'm doing about 50 miles an hour down here. my electric bike that I built myself is pretty nippy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister works for a outfit that they just started selling the e-bikes, and she was at put a thing on the Facebook today, $1,200.
This one I built myself. It cost me in dollars. It'd be $3,000. It cost me in bits.
Yeah.
But it's it does up to 50 mile an hour, but it's too scary. So that's
a whole month's income. Oh, yeah. I couldn't find the link that you sent me for the U.S. Peptides.
Oh, you couldn't? Okay, I'll send you.
You need to send it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $90 for a 20-day trial. Yeah, and it's free postage in America. I was gonna send you 20 for free. You know what I'm saying? But I can't send it through Royal Mail. I've explained that to you.
No.
I've got to send it through DHL, where it's hand to hand, where they can actually. They've got their own airport and things, and then they do their own customs, and you tell them exactly what's in there. It's cool, but it's $45-$90. You know, one or two. It's either $45 or $90 just to send it to you. You know, I didn't bother getting the exact price, but that was what it was going to be.
That's way too much.
Whereas Royal Mail, it's £2.70, but you wouldn't get it.
No, they would surely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm no longer taking pancreas drugs or lung drugs anymore off the doctors. I've stopped taking them a few months ago. I'm feeling brilliant now.
That's good.
It's really exciting when doctor tells you you've only got a few years to live, and then you find this thing and it works, and then you've got to keep it quiet from your doctor, and then you're just so happy, you know. You're just relieved, you know. And relieved because you're not depending on somebody else. You're doing it yourself. You know.
Plus, you still smoke, right?
Yeah.
Oh. So it must be really good if you can still smoke.
I'm smoking. I smoke just like I've always done since I was 14. I stopped smoking for 3 years when I was a driving instructor. I stopped taking weed, everything. I totally became completely clean for 3 years. Even had a normal haircut and everything. You know what I'm saying? But it was brilliant doing that. The pay wasn't well because I had to hire a brand new car with dual controls and all that lot. But the joy in doing a job like that was the appreciation at kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get them through tests and that. It's a brilliant thing to do. It's like a giving occupation, you know? It's like you're giving into community, you know? You're helping people. It's brilliant. Anyway, after about 3 years, I was so bloody bored, I can tell you. I've been to 3 festivals, yeah? No, not a smoke or anything, not even a cigarette, yeah? Not drink or anything, yeah? Not third festival.
Yeah,
second night, I just went, oh, I've had enough of this. I'd had a smoke of weed and I felt so relieved. But I'd done 3 years driving instructor. I went back to London a few weeks to London a few weeks later, back to driving school to have my papers and that, to get my wages and stuff. And I said, this is going to be the last time I'm going to be working for you, because I'm now smoking weed again. And that was the end. That was the end of my driving instructing 3-year thing. It took me 18 months to become. It took me 18 months of training to actually become a driving instructor. You know, to pass advanced tests, things like that. You know. medical first aid and all that. You know.
Yeah, if you didn't smoke, you'd probably feel fantastic.
You know what? I didn't. It didn't make me feel any healthier whatsoever for that 3 years at all. I just felt exactly the
Oh,
same.
really?
Apart from the only thing that had changed, I was bored out of my bloody tits. Yeah, I was bored out of my. You know what I mean? Doing all serious
Yeah,
work all day, and going home and not having anything to have a break with. You know what I'm saying? Not having a beer or not having a smoke. You know what I'm saying? It was so bloody boring after 3 years. You know what I mean? For what type of spirit I am, you know.
yeah. I still
Yeah,
use I still use the nicotine pouch because nicotine it helps your nicotine inhibitors,
yeah,
fight
yeah, yeah,
the EBGB. It fights against the EBGB with the nicotine.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's
that,
just anything
that's
natural, really, isn't it?
mainly
We're getting to our age now, where it's like, the doctors can't help us anymore. All they're going to do is put pharmacy in it or chop pieces out of us. We may as well just
yeah.
learn about our own bodies and learn. It only takes 18 months to become a doctor in this country. You know,
Mm,
I've been studying
uh-huh.
myself for over probably 7 years now. So I'm pretty
Uh-huh.
expert of what conditions and how to cure myself by now. Well, obviously, because I'm getting better. Where it's doctors were
Good.
saying you've only got 7 years to live, and that was more than 7 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a chain of grocery stores and pharmacy called Winn-Dixie. Here in the South U.S., it's a brand name. Winn-Dixie's like
Okay.
yeah, it's one of the grocery stores in the South. Been for years and years and years. He made a movie called Winn-Dixie. Who named the dog after the grocery store?
Is this a
But
natural
Aldi's
herbal
bought it.
place or a pharmacy place?
No, it's a regular pharmacy. But
Okay. Okay.
Aldi's bought it, and they discontinued the pharmacy. So all my prescriptions went to Walgreens, which is hard.
Right.
And I was on the phone. Can you hold? They come on. Can you hold? About 10 times. You're the next caller in line. Be 1 minute. 30 minutes later, they finally get me on there, and they can't find my prescription. For that particular prescription, the doctor has to call it in again because they deleted it because they couldn't. I don't know, rigmarole.
Well, the thing is with that
Then
type of
my
situation, Kerry, it's an impossible situation for a pharmacy or a doctor or a nurse or anybody to intervene to be able to make such a stupid mistake as what they've done to you and me and fellow other people as well. They're doing it obviously on purpose.
yeah,
But it has to be
yeah.
on purpose, you know.
But
Yeah.
my doctor,
Otherwise, they're not professionals, are they? They shouldn't be working there.
no, my doctor had a big old sign. I was in there about 2 weeks ago on well, been longer than that because it was 25th of August. But he'd no longer call in prescriptions to Walgreens because they had a contract dispute and they weren't getting their supplies right. And so he couldn't send it to the Walgreens because they won't send it to Walgreens. So I had to change it over to CVS Pharmacy. I've been since Monday trying to get that corrected. 30 minutes at a time waiting on hold. Crazy. Aldi's. I think that's what, an Italian company? It's foreign. Anybody know what country?
The pharmacists just say no more, really. They're evil.
Yeah.
They're not
Well,
natural. They're anti-human.
Yeah, true, but Aldi's don't have pharmacies. They charge for the cart, the basket, the shopping cart. They put a quarter.
Are you
in
enjoying the
machine
pharmacies coming over from Mexico and places like that, which are bringing pharmaceutical fentanyl over your barriers and
No.
things?
Oh,
I don't think you are you?
No.
Pharmacies is evil.
That's another thing we need to do is flood the border.
Cut it out. If you're ill, Yeah, if you're ill,
Flood the
just
border
chop the
with
part off that's ill off, or take herbs or peptides. It's simple. Don't
right.
take pharmaceuticals.
Mm. What we need to do is flood the border with citizens and dare them to come across the border at us.
What with cannons
But
and
we won't.
machine guns.
But we won't do that. We won't do that. It might hurt somebody. Might hurt somebody.
We hurt people because of
Well,
where we are.
yep, yep. It's a mess. It's just totally. If everybody just sit back and think about 10 things that affect this stuff that affected them with, they would change their mind on a lot of things that they're doing and not doing. Just people don't take the time to think. They just listen and take it for granted. Oh, the government won't do that to us. We trust the government. Or we
Is
trust
this a
our
bad thing to
pharmacists.
say, Kerry? Is this a bad thing to say, just generally? Yeah. I
Yeah.
see people with kids, 2, 3, 5, 7-year-olds, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. They all seem to be like they're not their kids. The kids are just there just for a showpiece, for making money out of or ridiculing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
with all this
they leave it up.
library stuff and
Yeah, they stick them with a cell phone, or they
yeah, it's
leave them at
abuse.
school and expect the school to teach them, and they don't teach them on their own because they're busy
But there
working.
is you do see them, don't you, Kay? You know what I'm talking about. It's in public.
Yeah.
Like you can see these kids. What on earth? What are the parents doing? What are the you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, they're
What?
They're
Why?
doing their
Why
own
is
thing,
that?
and their
Why is
kids-
that? Why has that kid got that in his hand? Why is that kid wearing that? You know what I mean? It's like you see it
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like what on earth's going on?
yeah, because they're so busy, they just either they don't have time enough, and they
Oh, the evil ones, man. Is
just push the
even
kids
this
to the
even this
side.
year in England, I've seen 3 adults with like 5, 6 children with them, all with masks on. Really weird. Like 3
Uh-oh.
adults. What on earth's going on there?
Yeah,
It's like
who knows?
mother, father, auntie, or something, and 5 kids all masked up. It's like what? What? Who? How?
It could be anything from a gay open marriage to anything. It just
God.
everything goes nowadays. No matter what it is. But the problem is they try to push it off on everybody, expect everybody to bow down and do exactly like they do.
Whenever I see somebody with one of them masks on, I feel as though there's something bad's going to happen and I'm going to be involved in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed today when I went to the
I can't
doctor,
take my eyes off them, I can't trust them.
when I went to the doctor today, half the employees had masks on again.
Well, don't go to that bloody building.
Yeah. Oh, no, crazy.
Something wrong with them if they're going to a building with a bloody mask on their face.
If they'd have left, yeah.
I'm going to go make a cup of tea before I swear.
I won't talk about that stuff.
No, it's awful.
It'll get me in trouble.
It always gets me in trouble as well, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in public.
Yeah, I got it. They won't recommend me on Facebook because I talk too much civics, and then they had the V word right after that. But I don't talk about that. I don't mention anything. I won't call it like that.
We can't unsee these people in our streets today, though, can we? We can't help but see them. Yeah. So it is today's news,
And you see one with a mask, and you might as well consider it a Karen, male or female. You might as well consider that's a Karen.
Definitely, somebody who wants to kill me is wearing a mask. So
Yeah.
Definitely somebody
it
wearing a
doesn't.
mask is out to absolutely, I don't know, noncify England.
Mhm.
I'm going to make a cup of tea.
And all the test shows it doesn't stop anything that's, smaller than, the actual thing. It doesn't do anything, period. And you could wear 100 of them, it would be the same thing. It's pathetic, and they expect us to believe it. If you've had the first round to go about, you're more apt to get it. And that should tell everybody a lot. I've already done the first go around, and then you say I'm more apt to get it. Something wrong with that picture. Even a dumb person should figure that one out. I just don't know. And then we have this thing coming up the 4th. Who knows what that's going to be all about? But all the cell phones are going to go off at the same time. TVs, computers, anything connected to a modem, civil defense. I don't know. I just don't know. We have to pray and hope for the best. Okay, everybody, I want to call it evening. And good talking with you, Navi. Oh, you're on mute. I'm gonna call it for today. Hopefully, somebody got some benefit out of it. And all you got to do is give yourself to the Lord, and He'll protect you. Oh, there was a lot more I was going to talk about, maybe on a later time. A lot of people are waiting for the rapture, but the Lord tells us not to wait. He tells us to take care of this earth. And they need to be total with the Lord now, and be ready. Things like that. It's good to know, what may go on, the mark of the beast and everything. But too much is going on trying to determine what that is. But the Bible tells us we will know what it is when it comes. But then we're supposed to be taken up before or right after that takes place. So a lot of the churches are worried about one thing and not covering the other. All we have to do is have faith and trust in the Lord, do His will, and we'll come out on top. But having said that, good night, y'all. Have a good night. And like I said, trust in the Lord. Good night, all.
Later.